Let me guess, you clicked on the video because you have a paintbrush just like this. It's dirty, it's grungy, it's crusted and dried over, and it's a non-usable state. I mean, you're embarrassed. I mean, you should be. I mean, like, who hurt you? Who treated you so badly? It's okay. Wild's got you covered, paintbrush. I'm gonna show you how to restore any paintbrush back to a working state so that way you can continue to use it on your paint projects. And the best part is, we're doing this in a very hot room. I mean, like, I am glistening. So here we go. We've all been there. You have a paintbrush that you've used and abused, or more likely, you have one that you forgot to clean up after painting with it. So it's dry, it's crusty, it's unusable. But you know what? If you're an acrylic or oil painter out there, or heck, even a household painter out there, we can save that paintbrush and restore it to a usable state, which is great if your paintbrushes cost a little bit of money. We first need to grab a container that can hold our paintbrush. If you got smaller paintbrushes, you can use things like a baby food jar that you cleaned up. If you have bigger paintbrushes, I personally use an El Pato can that I cleaned out and removed the lid. Now, an extra little wild tip for you, El Pato makes a great base for a chicken wing marinade. You don't believe me? Try it. Just get some chicken wings, some El Pato sauce, and throw in your extra seasonings and let it marinate, and throw that sucker on the grill and perfection. When it comes to cleaning and restoring your paintbrushes, we're gonna use Murphy's Oil Soap. Now, I've recommended this before, but we're gonna use it slightly different this time. Take your container and pour in your Murphy's Oil Soap to where it's gonna go right up to the ferrule. The reason we're gonna do this is because the soap's actually gonna clean your ferrule for you, which is an extra little added bonus. Now, put in your paintbrush, and as you're putting it in, I want you to make sure you coat the entire paintbrush, and heck, it's okay if you get the ferrule, because like I said, it's gonna clean that too. Now, rather than just dumping it in and kind of swashing it around, I actually want you to take your paintbrush and dab it down to where the paint bristles start to bloom in different directions. You're gonna notice for the first time, there's a lot of resistance because there's so much clustered and dried paint near the top of the ferrule. Now, we just gotta let this paintbrush soak, no joke, for 24 hours. But we're not gonna leave it alone to where it can just soak and massage and do its thing. That's part of the work, but you need to come back every so often. Come back every handful of hours, and I want you to repeat the process of dunking the paintbrush, rotating, make sure it's getting on the ferrule so that way you can clean it later. But as you're pushing down and allowing the bristles to bloom, you're going to notice there's a lot less resistance because the Murphy's Oil Soap is starting to eat away at all that excess grime and grunge and dried on paint that's on your bristles. You're actually gonna start to notice as you get past the 8-hour mark and 12-hour mark that your Murphy Oil Soap is going to change a different color. Depending on what color is most likely in your brush, probably purple and blue since those are strong pigments, sometimes even red, that it's going to start fading into that Murphy's Oil Soap. That's how you know it's doing its job and working correctly. After the 24-hour period is up, the Murphy's Oil Soap has pretty much done all the heavy lifting for us, but we still have to put in a little bit of work. The nice thing about Murphy's Oil Soap is the fact that it's biodegradable and eco-friendly. So for our next step, we want to build up a good lather. I recommend doing this outside or near your garden so that way you don't make too much of a mess, but you're gonna need access to a hose or a bucket of water. And I just want you to build up a really strong lather in that paintbrush. Now you can wear gloves if you want, but depending on the paint, you really don't need it. And all you need to do is just rub with your hands and your fingers in those bristles to build up that lather. You can start to rub off all of the paint, which will just fall right off of that ferrule. And you just need to repeat the step numerous times. Because there's so much Murphy's Oil Soap within those bristles, it's gonna take you like 2 or 3 times to clean it before all that soap comes out. But once you got everything out, you're gonna know that every time you start cleaning it with water, it's gonna get lighter and lighter in color, and you're gonna start to see more paint crud and sludge fall out of that paintbrush and those bristles. And before you know it, you got a paintbrush that's pretty much almost back to a usable state. And I say almost because since that Murphy soap has maybe stripped out a little bit of nourishment in those bristles, we still have to add a little bit of conditioner and preserver, especially if you're gonna use something like an artist paint brush. So for that, I recommend the Master Brush Cleaner, which has preserver and extra cleaner in it. And all you gotta do is just dunk your paintbrush in a little bit of water and just build up a lather within this tub here and allow the conditioner and preserver to sit on the bristles. I like to put it on there for about 30 minutes to an hour before I start taking the preserver off and let it dry after I have shaped the paintbrush. But once you've done all those steps, you now have a restored paintbrush that you can use for any of your paintings, or heck, even inside your house. Now you might be thinking, that's a lot of work for restoring and saving a paintbrush. And you know what? You're right. I only recommend doing this for paintbrushes that you absolutely love and adore, that you want to keep using, or paintbrushes that, you know what, you spent a lot of money on. If your paintbrush only costs like $1 to $5, I would say just get rid of it and buy a new paintbrush. But if there's paintbrushes out there that you love and adore, it's worth restoring them. Murphy's oil soap isn't expensive. Depending on how many bottles you want, it's usually between 10 USD and 20 USD. Gonna do you a favor and put links down to the cheapest place I've been able to find it on Amazon. That's gonna save you some good money. And also down there is the preserver that I recommend picking up. Trust me, that one's worth its weight in gold. Give this a shot. I think you'll be astonished at how easy it is to clean and restore one of your paintbrushes that you love. And if you need any more awesome painting tips from this handsome man named Wild, gonna do you a favor and put some links and videos over to the side. I'll check you all later, and if you find this video helpful, hey, go down below, smash that subscribe button, and use the links because they really help me out. And as always, take care, and of course, peace.